Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got an absolutely amazing broadcast lineup for you this morning. And I want to hear what each and every one of you have to say about this topic that we're going to talk about today. Everybody views it different. Everybody have different ideas, different mindsets, different experiences with this topic we're going to talk about today. So I'm very interested to see, and y'all know how I like to do. I like to kind of dig in and see where everybody is on the topic itself. But before we go another step further, before we get to that topic, I got to say good morning, Badger. Good morning. How you doing this morning? How you doing?
Good day, first cup of coffee.
There you go, getting it started, kicking it off right. And then how to do it, kick it off right. Badger, how many cup of coffee you drink in the morning?
I drink about 12 cups.
Good Lord.
Well, that's what the coffee pot says it's supposed to be.
Okay. Good Lord. 12 cups? My
Yeah,
God, my God. Listen, we gonna jump on that because that's a lot of coffee, man. I can't drink that much coffee, man. Lord Jesus.
need
We got
something to jumpstart this brain.
yeah, I heard that. I heard that. Captain Leonard, you with us?
Good morning, Raheem.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Glow family.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How you doing this
Morning.
morning?
I'm doing better than that voice sound.
Man, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Uh-uh. I'm doing a lot better than that, Raheem.
Well, that means you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. We got somebody with us from the 803 area code. 803 area code. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
It's Sherelle.
This is me.
There you go. Good to have you. Listen, I got a topic. We're gonna jump right into this topic this morning. We're gonna jump right into this topic because ain't no telling. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Ain't no telling where it's gonna go and how we're gonna tackle this thing. But it's based on everybody. Like I said earlier, this topic is based on everybody's experience, life experience, and how they deal with and view this topic. So Sherelle, I'm gonna ask you the question. I'm gonna start off with you. Ladies are first. So Sherelle, let me ask you this question. What does money really mean to you?
You would ask me first, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Ladies are first. Come on, we got to be gentlemen around here. Got to be gentlemen.
I mean, when it comes to getting bills paid, money means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to those bills, but when it comes to me, money means a lot, so I can take care of myself as well. When it comes to a man bringing something to the table, um, I'm not gonna ask him to bring nothing to the table that I can't bring. So to me, money means a lot to me to make sure to take care of me. So if it depends on what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So with the bills, it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Bills, it means a lot. Me taking care of my children and making sure they have the necessities that they need, it means a lot. Um, when it comes to a man, me being in a relationship with a man, unless I'm married, the money, that's your money. I don't really too much care about your money. Unless we're married, then that's when we have to focus on finances and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
money means a lot when you have to take care of what you have to take care
Mm-hmm.
of.
Okay.
But I don't know. It depends. Explain to me what are you talking about? What do you
Well,
mean?
well,
What does it mean to me in what aspect?
well. See, a lot. I usually put it out there and just let people go where they want to go with it. But a lot of times, when I ask that question of other people, they went on into what the evil of money and how money can corrupt people and how money can do this or the things that people would do for money. OJ's had a song quite about 1978, 79 for the love of money. A woman will sell her precious body for a small piece of paper. It carries a lot of weight. Y'all know I can't sing, but but see, and the things that people would do, and how they would sometimes even demean themselves for that piece of paper. What do you say to that?
Um, Money is not the root of all evil. It's what people do with it that's the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It is people might do crazy things for money depending on their personal situation. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We see it every day, but That I think that is true. I don't believe that money is the root of all evil. It's the people behind the money and what they do with it. That and is the people is the root of all evil. It's not the money. Money ain't nothing but a piece of paper with some color on it.
I can agree.
And some numbers on it. So what you do with it is, and your actions behind it is what's considered the evil part. It's not the money. But people will go to extreme measures for, they'll sell themselves out or sell somebody out for a little bit of change. That's true. We see it all the time. But I mean,
come on.
But I mean, as far as me, as I'm concerned, I'm focused on my own coins. I don't focus on what nobody else do. But yeah, does it matter when it comes to me taking care of what I have to take care of to make sure that my children are straight? Absolutely.
Good deal.
Does it matter am I worried about your money? Absolutely not, because I have my own focus on.
That's good.
So as long as you're not putting me, long as the root of evil, long as you're not doing any actions evil to harm me and disrupting what I got going on, you do you. I mean,
that's good. That's good. Badger, what do you say to that, Badger? What does money really mean to you?
Trade goods. That's it.
Now this radio, Badger, you got to give me something. You got to give me more than that, brother. Come on.
I know. I've seen it cause a lot of problems with a lot of people. Like we have enough to get by, to get what we need, to take care of things, and even help people when we can. So the amount of value some people give money, I'll be honest, frightens me, because it's almost like they let it control them.
And in some cases it does. But go ahead.
So looking at it from those kinds of perspectives, it can definitely make people think that it's the root of all evil, but to me it's a piece of paper. So like she was saying, it's what people do with it. It's how the people react to it. I think a lot of it's reactions and what they think is important. The value of family versus the value of money can vastly different depending on the person.
And a lot of times people will allow money to destroy their family.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it's a sad thought.
Exactly. And so that's why I say this conversation is going to be so powerful, because everybody have a different perspective of money and have seen different experience that money has caused, be it good or bad. Money could be used for a lot of good. It could be used for a lot of good. You could do a lot of good things with it. But if your mindset and who you are is not lined up properly, then it can be a very evil source. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? What does money really mean to you?
Well, I have a strange fascination with it. I can tell you that.
I don't know where you're going right now, brother, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Money to me is currency. It keeps me coming. It keeps me coming and going. Doing what I need to do, acquiring what I want. And I don't have a negative connotation of it. Now, if you're a nasty person, you're just a nasty person, and you get more money, you do nasty things. However, money doesn't change my disposition about how I treat people and things of that nature. It's just currency to me.
Okay, that's good. But let me ask you this: have you seen, not Leonard, but have you seen where money has made people? And maybe that's who they were initially in the beginning. They just didn't have the finances to express it. But have you ever seen where money make a person just turn cruel?
Personally, no. I ain't never known nobody get some money and then just do a complete change of character. People usually are who they are. Money just facilitates whatever they were desiring in the first place.
Okay.
So it's not most people who get money. They have the concept. They just sit on their money. The money's just gives them financial, security. That's my fascination with it. Financial security to be able to purchase, like to stay current on what I want. That's what money is for me.
Okay. Okay. So Sherelle, and that's good, and that's what it should be. But not everybody take that stand, Sherelle. Some people get money and they just lose their mind. Would
Yeah,
you?
my name not even Sherelle.
I was talking to Sherelle, but I was talking to Sherelle, sir. Sherelle, you there?
Okay. Time to hear you.
I'm here.
Okay. What do you say to that? Do you think some people would get money and they lose their mind?
I mean, some people never experience money, so I mean, of course, you're gonna act different if you got something you never had. You're gonna treat it a little differently. So that's anybody. If you never had money and then you all of a sudden come into money, you might. Some people might switch up. You know what I'm saying? I always said if I hit the lottery, it's a couple people that ain't coming with me. That's not switching up. That's just my attitude. Definitely gonna be different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But those who was there know that they'll be well taken care of. I always said that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's now as far as going crazy. I mean, if they wasn't crazy, if you're not gonna go crazy, you was already crazy before you got the money. You see what I'm saying? So it's just now you just on a whole bougie level of crazy. Okay. That's all it is. Now you're on because you have money. Now you're just on a different level of crazy, but you was already crazy. You can't say that they changed. I don't think they change. I mean, I don't think money changes people. It just makes them move a little different. Some people, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as doing evil, I have never experienced that. I've never experienced a soul who ran into any type of money. Not saying they're not out there, but me personally, I've never ran into a soul who ran into money or got more money and turned evil. I've never experienced that.
Okay. Now I've seen people say and say this right here about people when they get money, say all of a sudden, and you got that money and now you done changed. You done changed. You different now. You different. And see, I look at both sides of the coins, and sometimes when a person come into a Sherelle, you win that $400 million lottery, and then some of the people around you say, well, look at here, Sherelle, you changed. Is it really you that changed, or the way they deal with you because of the fact they know they got money and now they want something from you, and before that money they didn't treat you that way? Is it always that person with the money that changed, or is it the people around them that changes because they know that now I got this cash cow, and this cash cow is not providing for me everything I think this cash cow should provide? What do you say to that, Sherelle?
I mean, that could be a little bit of both. That's possible. The person could change, or the people around them could change simply because they have money. When you have money, a lot of people gonna have their hand out.
Yeah.
I mean, and then some people that get money, me personally, they might change. I've never experienced that. I know I've ran into money before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't change, but those that understood that they were right there beside me were taken care of, and those that weren't. But everybody knows that about me. I don't sugarcoat anything. If you wasn't my cousin before, you're not gonna be my cousin now. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same person. I'm in a higher tax bracket. You see what I'm saying? So the same person, higher tax bracket. Everybody doesn't think that way. Now, I can't personally talk about that because I've never experienced that, but I wouldn't know. Is there people who probably do that? Yeah, but you do have people who switch up on you just because you have money and because they didn't come with you to get that money. Some people are mad because they weren't with you when you got it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you have those people in the world. But I personally never experienced that part of somebody changing when they had money to talk about it. So I can't really talk about that. Is there people out there who probably have talked about it?
Okay, good deal. We got Shira Strong with us this morning, young lady. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Glad. It's morning.
Exactly. Well, we asking this song, Lord, we asking this question, Shira. Is
you wanted me to sing?
I wanted you to say, what does money really mean to you? To Shira Strong, what does money mean to you?
Well, I'm different. I'm not materialistic. I don't. I just use money for what it's supposed to be used for, and that is to pay my bills, go, do the things that I need to do, take care of my children. I don't worship money. I don't hold on to money like I think, because one thing I learned, my grandmother taught me, and I guess that's why I'm like this. My grandma told me that whenever you working and you getting your money, she said you have to do something for yourself out of each check that you get. Because if not, you're just gonna be living to pay bills and you're gonna regret the fact that you even working. And she said, because you better understand that you're gonna understand who FICA is and get mad because they taking half of your check.
Exactly.
So I've never been a person to, and then she always, and then another thing say, it's nothing that you can take with you. The money, the clothes, all that stuff. When you die, it doesn't go in a casket with you, and even if it does, it deteriorates to nothing. So I always had a mind frame that, you know what, I may or may not be here tomorrow. So I'm going to use this money that I make to enjoy the life that God has given me and to help and do charity along the way. Money can make you evil. Money can, so many people think money is evil. But if you read that scripture correct, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. In other words,
let me ask you this. Shira, let me ask you this. And y'all names are so close. I see Shira and Sherry. So y'all gotta bear with me this morning. Y'all names are very close.
Hey, Miss Sherry.
Sherelle.
Sherelle, you said Sherry.
Yeah, I know. I'm butchered. I'm in a bad spot this morning. But seriously, you said something. And do you think money or the acquisition of money could turn a person evil?
I think the love of money or the love or the wanting of things like everyone wants this high profile lifestyle. Everybody wants to be rich or, to have stature and status. And some people don't care how they get that statue or that money. And that is what makes it evil, because you don't care how you get it. You exploit your body. You may exploit your kids. You may exploit somebody else's kids. You may, do all kinds of sorts of things to get money. Look at, and I tell people all the time, look at those people who are selling drugs and gangster lifestyle. That's your thing. I'm not going to talk about you, but I'm going to say that those type of people are willing to do anything to maintain the money that they're receiving, and that's including killing, stealing, or whatever. But it takes the same mind frame to run a business. So I always tell a lot of people that are in the business of selling drugs that, you could run a Fortune 500 company, because it takes the same amount of energy. It takes the same amount of knowledge. It's just used in a positive manner. So I do believe that money or the lack of can make you, because let's say the more questions that's always asked, is it right for a person to steal medicine to save their mom if they don't have the money? All those moral aspects and things come into play when you don't have money. Let's say you haven't ate in days, you're homeless. Is it wrong for a person that's homeless and they haven't had a meal in days go into the restaurant, order some food, and walk away? Those are moral things that we think about. And those are those that are the working poor, they're working from check to check, or those that are working or getting SNAP benefits is what they call them, or food stamps, or whatever you want to call them. If it's not for them, I always say I'm a paycheck for being broke. Or if something doesn't go right, or I don't pay something on time or correctly, it can put a dent in me. I could be that person that's homeless because I couldn't work and pay my bills. So I feel like money means to me, if you ask what money means to me, it's a means to an end. It's a means to take care of myself and my family, but I don't love it. I don't have to kill no one for it or rob a bank. You know, but I did want to rob bank. I want to be like, set it off. Okay, I'm going to end it off like that.
Okay. Badger, talk to me, brother. Money. This thing called money, this piece of paper that they run through this machine and print pictures and stuff like that on it. And then all of a sudden people place all this value on it. It's just a piece of paper. It's really just a piece of paper.
It's an
So what do
IOU.
Yeah. Go ahead, talk about it.
You know, these dollar bills that we got, you know, I think Mexico, maybe one or two other countries at most, the dollar's actually worth more.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everywhere else, their money value is higher than ours.
Mm-hmm.
And that should say something, you know.
Because we're supposed to be the richest country in the world.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. My point exactly. Go ahead.
Illusions.
Mm-hmm.
What? I didn't hear what she said.
You muted.
Oh, I said that's an illusion. That we're the richest place. That's an illusion.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I wish to some degree it was still the value of how a person lives their life should be viewed what's more important than how much money they got in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
If you had a set of twins, if you had twins that came into a say a restaurant, go into a restaurant, Badger, one of them is very wealthy, dressed, very, high class, lack of a better term, they dress immaculate, walk in there, they'll be treated one way. But then their twin brother or twin sister come in and they're worse for wear, had a rough life, clothes are run down, torn, and not really smelling as pleasant as people would like people to smell. They're identical twins, but I guarantee you they'll be treated differently.
oh,
Why?
absolutely. I don't know if you ever watched the YouTube videos of these owners and stuff, or family members of people that own these businesses going in and finding out exactly how these managers and stuff are actually running their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I sit there and I watch them and stuff like that. It's insane how much a person is judged based on what they wear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I feel comfortable wearing holy blue jeans and stuff because I've had them for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll get judged in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it's because of the value of money is where it's at now. It's hard to get people to realize that community and family is more so.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if anything ever happens and that the value of that dollar is no more, you know, those paper monies don't mean anything anymore because everything's going digital to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how um my wife was telling me something about what was going over in one of the uh maybe China or Japan, one of those, where they're actually like putting chips or they use their bank cards or something like that. And depending on how well they are as a citizen, decides if they get access to it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got to look into it more to know all the details and stuff, but I know like how you behave in society dictates what you're allowed to use and what you're not.
Wow.
Um, and I think that'd be interesting to implement in America. I really do.
Wow.
I mean, the American people let the government control them anyway. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
This is just going to be more obvious. That's
Wow.
the only difference.
Communist.
I'd be scared on how they're going to determine you're a good citizen, though. especially being African American.
They use cameras and stuff. And if you're caught on the cameras doing things, they actually use face recognition and track it straight to your bank account. They'll keep you out of your own bank account depending on how you behave in society.
So what? Only thing about that is if a person is actually, and I want to go to Sherelle with this. If a person is actually out there, they're working, and they did put in the time to get X amount of money because they worked hard. In that system that you're talking about, they could be eliminated from being able to obtain the money that they work so hard for because of how they treat people.
Okay. The law talking about racism and these hate groups and stuff, that's already
Mhm.
public law. You know, FBI is
Mhm.
supposed to be investigating all these kinds of crazy people
Mm-hmm.
that they really don't do.
Mm-hmm.
If they implemented something like that and they're caught doing it, and since it's part of the law, instead of sending them to prison, they just can't access their bank account until they actually work on what they need to work on.
But can you see? And Sherelle, I want to hear her heart on this. But can you see how that could not only affect that person, because you got some good people that may be renting to that person, now they can't get their money. You got companies that maybe loaned them money when it was a bad situation, now they can't get their money. So not only are you punishing that person, but you're punishing that person that may owe good people money because they can't get to their money. Sherelle, what do you say to that?
That would create a major problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like that's similar to the ghetto experiment. When you limit resources, that's like limiting a resource to somebody. So you know what happens when you limit a resource to any group of people. You know what I'm saying? That when you limit my money until I can get right, I'll probably never get right because I'm thinking about the money. You limit it. You limit it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that would create a problem, a major problem. But I think I understand what he's trying to say.
Oh yeah.
I know that would create a problem.
Mm-hmm. And
that would create a major problem.
Exactly. And Leonard, if I owe you $5,000. Okay, I said, and you said, I said, well, Leonard, I'm gonna give it to you Monday, and then I do something Saturday evening, and they say, well, look here, Raheem, you can't get to your money. You know, we gonna withhold your money because we saw what you did. We went into the system. It identified you, so now you cannot get to your money. Now I come to you Monday, and you expecting your money, and I say, hey, Leonard, man, I did something over the weekend. They froze my account, brother. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to pay you, man. When they open up my account, you know, I give you your money, but right now I don't have access to my money. How's Leonard gonna feel?
Well, I mean, it don't even matter how I feel, do it? Because the issue is the money, not my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I need my money,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Exactly.
and you know, I'm not looking like I used. You know, there's this notion of this father figure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a paternalistic view of government that I don't care for, because I'm not looking for you to give me permission or whatever to do things or what have you. When I want to interact with you, I interact with you.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't want to, I don't. So, you know, government is just that. It's about the government. When I want something from someone else, there's probably going to be some conditions that I must meet.
Mm-hmm.
And then this isn't a bartering system. This is any other type of system. There's always going to be conditions to be met. I don't sit and think from the outside in. I think from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So my concept of life is different. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just as if I were when I lived in Europe, I interacted with the European system. Where I was at in that particular vicinity in that country, they had different rules and regulations and requirements to participate in their society. So, you know, it depends on where you at, where you go. Some people prefer communism.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? This is why we have different types of government.
Mm-hmm.
And you making a value decision on how I spend my time, and fooling with my money gonna get you killed.
How you gonna kill the government, Leonard? Explain that to me, man.
Well, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be the government.
Mm-hmm.
It's not say I don't think in terms of government.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone sitting somewhere doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have the notion to kill until I get to them.
So you're gonna leave a trail of dead bodies?
If you in the way of my money, yes.
Shira, what do you say to that? Leonard talking about killing everybody.
I understand you work hard for your money and if you can't obtain it, you know, that'll make a lot of people upset. And not everyone think clearly in that state of mind. But I have to say something, you know, when doing something wrong, I would have to have a definition of what that is, because if just like the Black Panther Party was considered a hate group, and they wasn't, all those members, if in that aspect they felt like they was right in everything that they did, and any group that you may join, whether it's an activist group that is for the rights of African American people or all people or human rights organization, they may consider that affiliation not a good thing and freeze your assets. You know, it to me is putting too much power, which they have some. They have more than we know that they have, or want to believe that they have. But to me, that would cause a lot of confusion. And depending on who is a president, like let's say Trump was in office during that time that they was going to do that type of activity, I would be afraid of who he would approve to be able to freeze their asset, because he was so vengeful, petty, as a better word. So to me, that's giving humans power to judge other humans, and based upon different actions, what actions, you know, I understand if you rob someone, yeah, you might need to pay retribution or whatever. But then now you're giving the government to be the judge, the jury, and everything to make the decision on what's best for them, which is a monetary capitalistic society. So I don't see what that would work for America. I wouldn't be for it, because I wouldn't want you to freeze my assets, because I'm like Leonard, I'd be highly upset if I can't pay my stuff to keep the stuff that I have.
Again, that actually goes back to the power of money, because when you say that you're going to kill somebody, or you will be willing to kill somebody because you don't have access to your money, or they're taking the access of your money away from you, that's giving money a whole lot of power, because you're willing to take somebody's life.
No, you're taking my life. You're taking my ability to sustain my life. If you take my money from me that I've worked, let's say I work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, I'm at work, some weekends. So you mean to tell me at the end of my 2 weeks, when I'm supposed to get all the money that I need to pay all my bills or to pay the things that I need to pay, you gonna tell me because I was publicly drunk on Bourbon Street that you're gonna freeze my assets?
Is that the kill? Is that the kill for?
It's not I tell you what, that okay. If that means you're not paying your rent, so you don't have a home, so you lost your home. You done lost the electricity because you ain't paid your light bill. You can't pay child care anymore. So now you can't go to work because you have nowhere to leave your children. So it leaves you in a desolate place. It leaves you in a place of needing. And when you get to a place that you're needing essential things, food, water, clothing, and shelter, it's people that would do anything to have those type things. And if you take your ability away, most people will turn to trying to get it however they can, go to robbing, go to stealing, going to terrorize, trying to get what they need just to survive. It's the survival of the fittest. That's in nature.
Okay.
You take a lion, and you take away its ability to feed itself, and you'll see what it does. It will begin to eat on whatever
Okay.
So
You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me go. I want to pull down Tucson into the conversation as well. Donald, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, before you go to Donald, I need to correct something.
Okay.
Okay, I actually looked into it. It's not that they keep you away from your bank account and stuff. It's called a social credit system. It includes corporate, government, and the individuals. But pretty much what it does is the system will use big data to build a high trust society where individuals and organizations follow the law. It will do so by assigning social credit scores to each entity based on their behavior, which is translated into a variety of rewards and punishments. So like even businesses,
I
if
wonder
they're
what
not paying their taxes or whatever, will be blacklisted.
Okay.
And have to follow more strict guidelines to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay. I wonder what is the punishment that they're speaking of. You know, look into it, see if you find out some of the punishment, Badger. While I go to Tucson. Tucson, what does good morning, sir.
Morning.
What does money mean to you? What does money mean to Donald Tucson?
Got to get my hands on some.
Oh Lord.
Money.
Oh Lord.
Money. Got to get my hands on some.
Oh Lord. Somebody told him he could sing.
I
That ain't got nothing. Sheila doing like this. Look, Sheila doing like this. How about that?
No. She trying to make you feel better about what that mess you're doing over there.
Right.
It worked. That mess you're doing.
It worked. It worked. It worked.
What?
Send me a check.
Exactly.
My cash app. Put my cash app up.
You going straight rental
That's
rap.
how she was from.
That's what I'm talking about.
He going straight rental rap. What does money mean to you, Donald?
Keep me out the mud. You know, it allows me to help not only myself but others.
Read the screen, Donald.
Say it again.
Read the screen.
Yes.
That's why I come here to hear.
Somebody's confused. Someone is confused, but that's okay. That's okay. You growing a fan base.
Well, doggone it then.
Lord, my.
But man, you know, I gotta have a roof over my head. I have to have clothes on my back. I have to have shoes on my feet. I don't like walking. Other than that, you know, I like to take care of my responsibilities. And if I can help somebody, then I'm gonna need that to do that. The rest of it, it don't mean nothing. It ain't about a quarter. You know, I tell you what though, and I've said this: if I ever get more money than I can shake a stick at, you'll never see me again.
Where you going?
Disappear. That's not gonna be your business. I just want somebody to bring me my groceries, because I'm gonna be somewhere and you ain't gonna be able to find me. I promise you. So will money change me? Sure. I will disappear, because here's what I'm gonna do. Everybody that I care about, if I had the opportunity, I will give them a lump sum in the mail with no return address. Because that's gonna be it. But for that second stimulus check, you'll never get it. I am not the government.
Lord, my. So one day, if we wake up one morning and send you a link or expect you to call in and we don't hear from you, should we just assume
what happened? You'll know what happened. Look at what I'm looking for now. And Badger, maybe you could do this research.
Hold on, Donald.
Wait.
A few minutes ago, Sheila was rocking to you. Now she's shaking her head like this. She said, "Lord Jesus."
I'm just being honest.
You want me to research what?
Badger, I want you to research something. Try to find an economy in this world that will triple or quadruple my money. And that's where I'm going when I retire.
Well, I guess you're not going to be in America.
No, I'm not American citizen anyway. They don't even recognize me.
Lord.
I would relieve a lot. Sheila, come on. Let's sing. You want to sing again? Let's sing. Sheila.
Lord. Don't
She ain't
sing.
no gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
What? I'm just telling you. Look, and here's another thing, Raheem, since I'm on the on platform. No money? No money? No honey.
No.
Lord, man, I don't know what Don about to go. Look, Leonard, Don about to trying to pick up where he left off yesterday. Take the wheel, Leonard.
No money, no honey.
There you go.
Ain't nothing going on but the run
Hey,
now.
don't bring no check home for about 2-3 weeks. You see what happens.
Don't do us like that.
Look,
Don't do
love
us
don't
like that.
look. They be singing, "Love don't live here anymore."
Sherelle, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Sherelle, say it ain't so. See, Sherelle said she make her own money, so she don't need no man money.
I don't. I don't. Unless we're married, I'm not worried about men's funds. That's not my. I mean, that's not my business. It's not my place. So,
you know, I made somebody mad saying that to them. I was like, I don't need you. I may want you in my life, but I don't need you in my life. Because I have where I work, I supply the needs, I supply my wants. So you have to put your stuff on the table. And if you bringing something to the table that then cool. If you're not bringing nothing to the table, then you ain't gonna sit down at the table.
Right.
Wow. Leonard, these women are so independent these days. They don't need a man.
I love it. I love
it.
Why wouldn't they be?
Go ahead. Talk about it.
They should be. They should be. Just like everyone else should be. We're talking about an equal playing field, right?
Yes, sir.
And let that field be equal and let the winners win.
We said let the women win.
I said let the winners win.
Oh, I know what you said, man. I'm just being funny. Rico, good morning, sir.
That's a very. See, this is the thing. What she's just said is the most healthiest view that you should have as a human being. That's very healthy to understand that you're responsible for yourself.
Okay, that's
so
true.
No one else should be able to come into your life who isn't responsible for themselves.
So if it's like I think it was she would have said, if you ain't bringing nothing to the table, you can't come to the table.
Don't trust people who are not responsible, who feel that it's always someone else's responsibility to take care of them.
Got you. Let me go back to the phone lines. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Rico, calling from Houston, Alabama, man. How is everybody doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, sir. Hey, hold on now. It's something you're supposed to say in the morning, ain't it?
Say it again.
It's something you're supposed to say in the morning, ain't it?
I'm not supposed to say Grand Rising.
Yes, sir.
Y'all already got started.
No. Still, we that's your starting point right there. That's your starting point. Well, Rico, I'm gonna ask you a question, man. Rico, talking to Rico now. What does money mean to you?
Money means a way to gain access. And that's pretty much as simple as I could get. Way to gain access, a tool to gain access. Now, the type of access and the ways it's used comes in so many different ways. It could be a pro and a con, a positive and a negative. But to me, at the same time, that tool, that paper, that man-made unnatural product took the character out of the picture and integrity and honor out of the picture. It's sort of, money is sort of a cloud. or blurry mirror, because some people have tended to lean towards what kind of money you make or how much money you make, and chosen that over character.
Mm-hmm.
So we have people with as much money as you could want, but they got some of the worst character, worst attitude, and the nastiest ways that a person could imagine. Unlimited power, and they don't care about anybody. They become drunk with money, consumed with money. They can become selfish. So it's a tool. You know, I can't put it no more plain than that. It's a tool that can be used for positive or negative, but it's also mainly to gain access to things that the average person can't get.
Okay. Is money evil?
It's the way that people use it. And money can't be evil when it can help. It can help or it can hurt. You know, you can save lives. You can you can go and pay for surgeries. You can pay for prescriptions, medication. You know, you can donate money, give charity, give it to homeless people and give them rooms for a night or whatever. But then you can also go and kidnap people and sell them for the money.
So what I'm hearing you say, Rico, and I'm gonna go to Badger, because Badger say he found some punishments. That same dollar bill or that same $100 bill that's on the counter could save a life or it can destroy a life. That same $100 bill.
Now that same $100 bill just gives you access. You can save a life or take a life. It's just a matter of what you do with it. Only thing that is just a tool to give you access to do either or.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It ain't nothing but a piece of paper. It's what you make of it.
With a little fancy ink on it. That's all it is. Badger, you say you found some punishments. What was those punishments?
All right. One of them is banning you from flying or getting on the train. One of the things that causes that is misdeeds include trying to ride the train or whatever without a ticket, loitering, smoking in those smoking areas, pretty much not obeying the laws. Throttling your internet speed if you're spreading fake news or terrorist attacks or things of that nature, they will throttle your internet. Banning you or your kids from the best schools. That's 100% if they have a bad social credit score. Stopping you from getting the best jobs.
Sound a lot like racism.
What did he say?
Except for the crime that's being black.
He said sounds a lot like racism.
Yeah. Trust-breaking individuals would also be banned from doing management jobs in state-owned firms and big banks if they're caught in fraud, embezzlement, things of that nature. Keeping people out of the best hotels, depending on behavior and all that. People that don't treat their animals well will have their dogs confiscated. And will have to take a test on regulations required for pet ownership.
Man, you can't even own. Oh, good Lord.
Well, if they pass the test and, actually take care of their animals, they won't lose them.
That's a lot there, brother.
That one I actually wish they didn't implement in America. Wouldn't have as many stray animals as we do now.
Got a lot of stray animals because them dogs is multiplying. Them animals are multiplying, brother. That's why we got all them animals.
Yeah, a lot of stray humans.
That's also true.
Wow. Shira, what's on your heart, sis? Yeah. What do you think about that system?
I still say the same thing. I feel like I don't think that system is meant to I think it's biased. I mean, because who's the judge and jury? Like, you may say I'm not taking care of my dog, but I'm taking care of it the way I saw fit to take care of it. It's aimed at dog fighting and different things like that. But
the dog,
I don't know. I just look.
Shoot, the dog weigh 3 pounds.
Even with the train situation.
The dog weigh 3. The dog weigh 3 pounds. You ain't feeding the dog. That dog weigh 3 pounds. You ain't feeding the dog.
Now. Well, the dog. My dog this big. Y'all saw my dog. My dog this big. He ain't but 3 pounds. But Chico is something else. But I do feel like it's a door for being biased, depending on who's looking at the situation. Now if somebody do get on the train without a ticket, could they afford the ticket? Or where they trying to go? Like it's a lot more into things than what meets the eye. I don't know. I'm just not for that system. I don't think that that's going to be right. I think there's going to be a lot of racism. I think it's going to open a door again for a lot of biasness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does. That's why a lot of people do not prefer that form of government and would really love to would rather be in places like America.
What?
No, wait a minute. I want to ask one question. I forgot to ask this question, Badger. I keep hearing you say a social credit score. Is that the same as like we have as a credit score here in America? Like, you buy something and don't pay it, then your credit score, it has to be up to 700, 800, or it can go all the way down to 1 or 0. And that means you have poor credit, which does not allow you to get a lot of things in the credit world. Like it's hard for you to get apartments. Sometimes it's hard for you to get a job.
It's really similar.
It sounds as though it is.
Yeah, okay. It's the basis of racism. It's the system that is racism, how it's used. That's what you do.
I think it's
used.
But it's not. But see, now this is in. You say this was in China, right? And then what you say about? Okay, and so
it's communism.
Yeah, it is, and I agree with that. But is it racism? Now, I understand what you're saying about the similarities, but is it racism? Because these are all, you're talking about Chinese people. They're all Chinese. So is it racism?
Oh.
The system is not just based on that.
You don't get beat up for saying that.
Yeah, don't
know.
say that on the air.
No. The reason why I say that is because I want people to understand and recognize that it doesn't matter whether it's all Chinese people. It doesn't matter. Racism still exists. See, a lot of people will not understand that it really does, and it has nothing to do with whether they're all Chinese. It has nothing to do with that. But and that's,
you want to put the right term on that. Then that would be bias. Because racism is specific.
Yeah.
And and that's what we mess up at. We like to throw words around and use them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do it. Everybody does it. But on the outside looking in, it's perceived the way you put it out there. So I mean, obviously, a Chinese person can't be racist against another Chinese person, but he could be biased.
Yeah.
Depending on what family they came from or what neighborhood they came from.
I don't think Badger agree with that. Hold on. I don't think Badger agree with that. Badger, what was the sound effect, brother?
I actually have had friends that came from certain parts of China, the country, and you call them a Chinese person and they'll break your jaw. They say they are from China, but they are from like north or south. There is a lot of, in certain areas there are huge separations. That it's not a bias. It's racism, hatred kind of stuff.
Wow.
Like they just.
See, I don't understand. I can't say I understand because I've never been there, never experienced it. But what I will say is this: I don't understand because if you're from China, if you're born and raised in China, all this other stuff aside, you're Chinese.
Well, this is like saying everybody from Mexico is Mexican, or everyone from Puerto Rico, all Spanish-speaking people are the same, and or all people that speak English is the same, look the same, talk the same. It's different.
But if you were born in China, if you were born in China, yes, go ahead, Leonard. I can't see where you're anything else other than Chinese because that's where you were born. It's like born in America. You're an American. May not be up under the whole umbrella, but you are an American because you was born here. But go ahead, Leonard.
It's a system of discrimination. Being Chinese is not a race issue.
No.
That's a nationality.
Yes, it is.
Based on the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, within that nation, there are several different cultures and backgrounds and ethnicities within the Chinese nation.
Yes, I agree with that. I understand, and I agree with that.
You don't go to, hey, African. They're from Africa, but maybe they may be Congolese.
Because see, my thing is so simple though, Leonard. Mine is so much simpler than that, because only thing I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to categorize them or anything like that, but I guess I am. But only thing I'm saying is this: if you were born in a certain place, if you were born in America, you may not. But because of the fact that you was born here in America, they will say that you were an American because you was. I understand what you're saying, but mine is so much simpler than what you're saying. If you were born in Russia, they say you are a Russian because of the place that you were born in. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Raheem.
That's just what you say. That's just what you say. But everyone, we in America,
they don't identify
birthright citizenship.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all I'm saying. The birthright, and I understand what you're saying. They don't identify as a person born in Russia. Don't necessarily identify as being a Russian. I understand that part, but does that change where you was born though?
Where you were born, but you may not be a citizen there.
Don't being born there make you a citizen?
Not in all countries.
Wow. See, you
this is why your president.
You taking me somewhere now.
Former president. This is why the former president tried to create a law to get rid of birthright citizenship here in the United States.
I remember that.
This was the whole effort. See, the strategy is to discriminate. Is just to use discrimination how you see fit. If you use it based on race, then it's racism.
Okay. That's good. Let me go. We got another call. Let me pull the other call into the gun. My brother Pete. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well, DKM radio listening audience, panel family. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, brother. What we're talking about this morning, we veered off just a little bit, and I love where we are really, but we're talking about what does money mean to you. So, what does money mean to you, Pete? What does money mean to Pete?
A necessary means to exist in the world, whether you exist meagerly or exceedingly. It's a tool, but it's a necessary tool. But then we have to qualify money. We have the tangible currency, the paper and the coins. We have what we consider gold and silver and diamonds. Resources are money. Your intellectual property and knowledge are money. Your skill set is money. If you own land, what land is money. What comes from land produces money. And you don't always have to do a medium exchange in quote unquote currency, money or coins. You can provide a service and get something else in return of substance, and it has nothing to do with paper or coinage. So we just want to understand the fullness of money. So money is a necessary tool to exist in this world. You need to have it, but there are different forms of it. So
can it be evil?
Pretty much.
Can money be evil?
Your money is just a substance. Your heartfelt condition toward money, your perspective toward money is where you get off track. If you want to hoard all the land, all the resources, all the paper and coinage, all of the resources, you want to own everything, then your mentality toward having things of value is corrupted, and therein lies the pursuit within your heart, which is corrupt.
Okay,
would be corrupt. And when we're talking about the social status things, specifically in China, which seems to be a test run for greater initiatives globally, that's based off of your conduct, your mentality, your participation and allegiance to the functioning system that is in power in that society. It's more so linked to that than anything else. If you are going against the government, then your social credit will drop. If you're speaking against the government, your social credit will drop. If you're writing things against the structure of the government, it will drop. Now, if you're abiding by it and you're paying your bills and you're a model citizen to their preference, then seemingly you will have decent or better social credit. But if you're going against it in any way, then your social credit will greatly be diminished.
Absolutely. Hold on, 'cause I want to come back to you in a minute or two and talk about where we are right now about the what you just said, the social value. I want to talk to you about that a little further. But right now I want to go to Donald Toussaint, then I'm going to Rico. Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
Because of the way this country is already, and it's not the only racist country or prejudiced country. Depends on your financial status. That would be a kicker right there. People get treated differently everywhere across the globe because of their financial status.
Yeah.
You can be a king or a peasant. And based on the gap between that, that's how people treat you. If you don't have nothing to give, they don't have nothing to offer you. Money makes money. You can't make money, you can't make nothing. I almost said something, but I can't say
that. I saw you acting up over there.
But can you imagine in this country some group of people deciding how people should conduct themselves, and they would put a value on that, and they would bring them up and down? It'll be a disaster. We already in trouble. Now, how you think that would work for us based on how it's working now? They'll shut the DKM radio down. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they probably
because
will.
You're not saying anything that people go along with. You hear what I'm saying?
It's not benefiting.
You kind of go against the grain.
Yeah.
So if you go against the grain, see, if conduct would be, I think if we would be fair about conduct, the Trumps would be broke.
Exactly.
We're gonna be fair about it. So who makes that decision? In this country, right is wrong and wrong is right.
Wow.
And it's getting worse. So that would be a man. Look, I probably have to stay laying down all the time to get my and don't say a word. I couldn't say a word.
Yeah. Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, if we came up with that social credit score thing, you can end revolutionaries. That'll be the end of them. But the thing is, like what Donald was saying a second ago. First, let me say this. With everybody's gonna have their own interpretation of definition of what race is. Me myself personally, I put that definition of race or racism on the people that created that system and then perpetrated it. The original people that created that system of racism. Not discrimination, but that specific word was created by a certain group of people, class or ethnicity of people, however you want to take it. We know where I'm going with it. But now, when you start talking about a social credit score, once again, there's a pro and a con to everything. It's supposed to have good intentions. It's supposed to have people they quit being so disruptive. They start abiding and participating more and I'm going to say conforming of being more acceptable in public. And not just in public, but on the internet. They don't want you being disruptive and, being a rule breaker. I think it's sort of the real people in and get everybody on a positive track. Well, I don't need to say a positive track. Limit them and control them. So now what you're trying to do, you're trying to control people or limit people from being so negative or putting out false news, fake news or whatever. And that's understandable that you do want to raise the level of standards in your country or your continent. But then what if your leader is Trump and he's the one deciding what's acceptable? You know, what if your leader was Adolf Hitler and he was the one deciding, him and his party, what's acceptable? What's going to improve your social credit score? So it's still always going to be a win and a lose. And we got to quit letting people come up with these different systems and participating in it. You know, because it has an ulterior motive. And 9 times out of 10, with us being human beings, it's probably going to go in the wrong direction. Get abused.
Exactly. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? I think it's K with an E. K with an E, you with us?
That's me. Good morning.
and look here, you don't woke up that mute button too. I see you don't woke it up. You just quick on the draw. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, what does
because
money?
When you said I got another caller, I just unmuted it.
Okay, there you go. That's that's how we do it. Now look, what does money mean to K? What does money mean to K with an E?
Oh my goodness. Well, I can purchase what I need to make it through life. So it's definitely meant to be on this earth. You're not going to get too many places without it. That's for sure. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't drink, and you can't go to the bathroom. You need money to do all those.
Now, if I ain't got no money, ain't gonna stop me from sleeping now, K. I'm still gonna be able to sleep now.
This and this, what you gonna sleep on the floor? You ain't gonna sleep comfortable.
I stand up and sleep.
You ain't gonna sleep on the floor neither because you don't have no room. You don't have no house to sleep on the floor. You need money because you need a roof over your head. You need money. You need food to eat. You have to drink water. You can't live on just love. You need money. So people ask you, what do you need, love over money? I'm gonna say money. Because if I got the money, I love me. God loved me. I don't need nobody else to love me. I just told my son that. I gave birth to you. You didn't give birth to me. You don't gotta love me. God loved me. He didn't know what to say. He was shocked. I said, I'm dead serious. When my mother and father was living, it was important that I made sure they loved me. And not love me, I wanted them to like me. And I told him that. And I prefer people to like me. I know you love me because you're supposed to be a child of God. But do you like me? That's the problem.
Exactly.
Other than that, you gotta have money. What can you do without money? Nothing.
Now you got some people, and I'm gonna go back into the conversation we had. I think it was yesterday. But I don't need no money. God is my provider. God will provide all of my needs. And then, so I ain't worried about all this money thing y'all talking about. I got God on my side. What do you say to that?
You know what? When I was going through the court stuff, they was like, you don't got money to fight them. And I told them, I don't care about that money. I have God in my corner. And when it came for Kay to need that $1,200, God provided, made sure somebody was here. Here's $1,200, a check in the mail for $4,000 and something. When I needed that $1,500 to give that lawyer, I didn't have it. God made a way, and there it was.
See,
I was like, look at God. Look at God.
Don't that prove my point though? Don't that prove my point though? You don't need money. You know, I don't need money. I got God, and I don't need no money because God will provide. I got this bill that's due $1,500. I ain't got a penny in my pocket, but I know God got me.
But you got to go do something. You're going to have to do something. God will give you an initiative. Like, you need to go take that step. If he tell you he took one, if you take one step, he'll take two. But you got to take that one. Because he ain't going to take that one step for you. You got to take your one step so he could take two. And I took my one step, and he took all the rest of them.
Okay.
He just picked me up and carried me.
Got you. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Difference between God helping you out and the devil giving you money.
You say what is?
Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Absolutely.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
The devil.
Go ahead.
The devil gives you whatever the devil gives you. Just keep in mind, and you pay attention to people when the devil bless you. Blessings don't lag. When God bless you, they're there to stay. God bless you, and if you don't appreciate God's blessing, he'll let the devil have his will with you. So when he do bless you, you're gonna be able to tell the difference. God bless me. You can tell the difference. God will bless you.
Okay.
Well,
Himself can bless you. You just gotta be able to determine the difference.
how do you? That's yeah, and I think there's a lot of people that think they got to where they got because God, and I'm sitting there going, no, you're using people and manipulating them. That's how you got your money.
Okay.
But the end
And
ain't got there yet, so pay attention to the end.
oh well, yeah, it's just I'm figured I'd bring that up because I mean we are talking about money after all.
That's
Because
good.
some people, they look at people that's got all this money and these fancy cars and all that stuff, and they're watching them screw people over, and and they're like, well, they're Christians, and they go to church and everything else. Maybe the way they're living is the right way.
It's not. It's not. And like I say, you recognize how they say the thing, recognize a tree by the fruit that it bears. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening. I'm not looking. I'm not even interested in what the devil's point of view may be. So I'm not always second guessing my blessing because I know what I pray for. Just like Miss Kay just said, when we're able to be blessed like that and we have a connection with a provider like that, we're secure in that, and it doesn't matter what anyone else believes about it.
That's good. That's good.
It's like say money is the tool. I can go rob a dope house, but I still rob the dope house. You understand? I still robbed the dope house.
Come on.
Okay? So me, just because they selling dope, don't make them no worse than me trying to steal it from them. So to have a negative view of money will definitely keep it away from you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It absolutely will. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I'm just listening in too right now, trying to gather the subject matter. But for context, there are melanated and deeply melanated people in China too. So you want to understand that there are deeply melanated folks over there.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. Toussaint. That $100,000 it's gonna corrupt you, Toussaint. If you get that $100,000,
no,
it's gonna corrupt you, brother.
That's not enough money. That's not enough. That ain't no money.
Okay. That $10 million they're talking about. That $10 million they're talking about, brother, is gonna corrupt you, Donald. It's gonna corrupt you, man.
It's not gonna corrupt me.
You don't want it. You don't want it, Donald. You don't want it.
I can use it now. Don't get me wrong. But see now, we gotta see what some people think is a lot of money. They ain't no money.
Yeah.
I can go from one end of the country to another and spend $10,000 easy, and I'll still be missing something.
Yeah,
that ain't no money. People say, "Man, I got $1,200. Boy, I done struck it big." Give them a week. So $100,000, man, come on, that ain't gonna change me. That's gonna try to make me figure out how I'm gonna get about 10 times more than that. But when you talk about money changing folks, you take so many, and I don't want to call any names because we've seen it over again. Professional athletes, those that have struck it big in the music industry or anywhere else, and they waste. I mean, you can't drive but one car. You can't live in but one home. Ain't nothing wrong with having a vacation home. But you got cars lined up all of a sudden. And I know that, we have dreams and said, if I can ever get this, this is what I'm going to get me. This is what I want. But that might be pretty good. But how is that helping anybody but you to make you look good?
Mm-hmm.
See, if I go ahead and get me a jet and don't have nowhere to fly, what sense is that making? Remember, and I'm gonna shut up. I remember Reverend Ike,
Come on now.
the preacher's preacher.
That prayer cloth. He sold a little prayer cloth.
Sold a bunch of them to a lot of folks. and I remember a guy. I can't call the name. Yes, I can. He would holler, and here's what he would holler. About 12 o'clock in the morning, you would hear, and God. He would holler that. I remember him because he stayed around my hometown, and they put him out the area. But he moved. See, if people, all you got to do is give people two things. That's just me. Somebody may give them money and power, or three, money, power, and position, and it'll change who their true character will come out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do. If you really want to see how a person really will act, give them some money, power, and position, and they'll show you who they really are. That's why some folks loved our former president, because it not only showed who he was, it showed how 74 million people are.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. What we're talking about today is, what does money mean to you? What does money mean to you? Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Money can be a very awesome thing. I go back again and say it has a pro and a con. Well, I'm not gonna say it has a pro and a con. To me, money is something like a X-ray machine. You know how you do money and you can see the other side, but when you put it down, you can't see through it. Well, it helps you to see through people too, except you inside of them, let you know where they really come from. But it's it's really, I don't really know which direction I want to go with this, because like I said, I don't want to be too negative about it. But at the same time, there's a lot of negative that comes out of people when they get that money. You got the prosperity preachers. You got the actors and the athletes, like you say. They show you this glamorous life, and they brag about all the money that they got, and which that's a good thing. It could be motivation for somebody to strive to do good, or to work hard, be resilient, and achieve that same goal. But you got so many that don't comprehend the integrity of the hard work that it took for them to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have so many that got it in illegal, ill-gotten ways. Bernie Madoff. So many people ripped off other people, or stole patents from other people, stole inventions from other people to become famous, or become rich, become wealthy. And so, that some people feel like that's the only way you can get wealthy, is to play dirty. So it's a good thing, to go in feeling like, what, man, for me to get along in this society and make it in this system, I got to play ball the way they play ball. Money over everything. Because like I said, what happens is it transforms some people. A person is very humble because they don't have those means of the access. I can imagine some homeless person might get a little arrogant if he gets too rich, because now he has access to the final things. But I want to go back. I think it gets to a point, sometimes we have to realize we do need money to a certain extent for certain things, but for our complete survival, we don't need money, because there are people that grow their own food. There are people off grid. People hunt. There are people that actually hunt and garden, and they grow their own food, and they don't have to depend on the grocery store for nothing.
Go fishing.
All of the above. They build homes, they barter. I mean, So I don't think we need money for every bit of our existence. We just need money to obtain the finer things, and I'm gonna say the more
progressive technology. Say, for instance, you can get a little bootleg Obama phone, or you can get some money and go buy you an iPhone 12. The choice is yours. But what's the difference? You know,
at the end of the day, both of them gonna make calls, and so we got we so spoiled sometimes. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Okay, sometimes we are just so spoiled. We gotta have what we deem to be the best of the best. You know, this little you go get a little flip phone. You still gonna be able to make your phone calls. If you get your phone to make a phone call, you still better make your phone call on this little flip phone, the $30, $40 phone. But we got to go out there and spend $500 or $600, $700 on an iPhone because it's the thing to
Not
have.
me.
Go ahead, sis.
I ain't getting ready to do none of that. I had to. My phone was outdated. I didn't have a choice but to go get another phone. But it wasn't an iPhone. I done had 3 iPhones and locked all of them up and gave them to my grandkids, and they was able to get them unlocked and sell them and all kinds of stuff. I said, well, that's a sign that I don't need an iPhone, and I got it because they said it's like a little office. And so I was like, oh, cool. I went ahead and got one, got the second one. Like each time I locked them up. I said, okay, God, I'm done. That's what Kay don't need. And I don't have an iPhone. I'm just, as long as my phone works, I can do my emails, I can send emails, I can type up some stuff in my little notes and leave it there, and I can go to the thing and put it on my computer and print it. I'm okay. If my flip phone would still work, I would have still had it. They talk so bad about me. So no. The flip phone, you gotta have the best and all of that. It doesn't even make sense. What are you telling the person? That you go out and you can afford this and you can afford that? My mama used to say, follow them home, baby.
Exactly.
She said, follow them home. She said, I guarantee you, what they got shining out here ain't shining at home. So
and that's true.
I believe that because my sister and them got friends, and I used to be like, I thought they really had it going on. And one day I just happened to brag with her, and she was like, come on in, but don't pay my mess no attention. Well, it wasn't just a mess. I couldn't believe it. Like, you got all these designer clothes just threw over here in this corner. You got your kids' clothes threw in this corner. Just a mess. You said don't pay it no attention. How can I? Girl said, take me home. I'm going to call somebody to come clean your place up for you. You dress like you got $1 million and your house looks like a shack.
I used to
and she wouldn't.
I used to have a fit. And call me crazy. But I used to have a fit. See somebody go out there and they spend all this money on their car. Had the car looking, man, the car be, man, the best looking car on the street. And they pulled up in front of a shack to live in. I was like, man, what are your priorities, man? You putting all this money into this car, that, you know, because people gonna see you driving this car. I mean, I'd rather drive a hoopty and pull my hoopty up in front of a nice place to live in. So I'm living in that place. I have to be comfortable with where I'm living. I don't care about the car. I don't care about that. You know, give me a hoopty. Don't give me a hoopty. Long as that hoopty is moving, I'm good to go. As long as I know I'm living right.
Who was that speaker when they said you give somebody money and power and they change? That's true. But you don't even got to give them money. Like, it's money available right now that people can ask for. And if you got 25,000, they'll match you 25,000. If you asking for 50, you got to have at least half of it. And it's all type of different programs. And I tell y'all, I listen. All I've been doing is sitting back listening to all these people running from here, there, to everywhere about this homeless stuff. So I went to the core of it because it got to be the core of it. These people that stop their own business that they got going on, got to lose some property and some more stuff to go over here to do for the homeless. Like, y'all have completely left what y'all got y'all target on and done focused on the homeless. And I tell you, it's money involved. It's money involved. I said I should have known that it was money involved because too many people is trying to be homeless helpers now. It's sad. I prayed. I said I put it on the prayer line this morning.
So they're doing
a whole lot of prayer.
So they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. Everybody want to cap it, but we got a homeless guy that stayed outside, and he got a few homeless people. They stayed outside through the coldest weather. None of them died. None of them froze. None of that. He done did a fundraiser, and he got money in there. He's talking about buying a house, 2 houses, a building. This other person got all this money, and Lord knows he done went and bought him a car. When I tell you they talking because I don't talk to the people. People call me and, girl, did you see? No, I didn't, because I don't talk. I don't hang out with them people. Well, did you know? No, I don't. I don't talk to them people. They was like, well, you was just with. I said, I know, but when you find out a person's intentions, you back up off of them. And you leave them alone and you let them be. And that's what I did with somebody. I backed up, let them alone, let them be, because you got your own business and you ain't doing nothing with it. You got another place that we need to be trying to fix up so you can keep it before the city take it from you. But you talking about the homeless? I don't got no talk for you, because you got plenty of your own business, but it's a money thing. And I can't stand people that do that. Absolutely. You can't use people to get over it. And then the homeless people, they don't know they got news for them. Because what did I tell them? Call this lady, call this attorney. That man that got all that money for the homeless people, that's y'all's money. We question y'all's money.
Exactly.
I said, take him to court and sue him for y'all's money, because that's y'all's money.
Toussaint, what's on your
heart? I'm cool.
Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
You gotta understand. I'm sorry, let me cut in. You gotta understand, sis, that the big money that's given for those type of initiatives is given to big entities, and they understand that there's a period of time that they have to use the money. They sit on the money on purpose. They have to return so much of the money. So you can get a $22 million funding, and you might spend, $1 million, okay? And your time frame expires. So now you have to return 15 of the 22 million. Maybe 8, maybe about 15 or so, but the rest you get to keep.
Wow.
The rest you get to keep. So that's why we got
so much. That's why we got so much money available, because the city didn't use it. They haven't used it, so they got a certain amount of time to use it. So these people don't even have a business. When I tell you they trying to create one to get this money,
wow,
it's horrible. I've never seen nothing like it. Like, all this is I'm telling y'all, when I went to the core of it, they talking about $400,000 already been spent, $700,000 coming back into it for, all the homeless money that they have just being for the homeless people. I was like, wow. I went and bought all that food and fed them people and took all that food down there. We have a council person ask for her money back. I was like, where do they do that at? You ask for your money back for feeding the homeless? I said, well, I should make a list and turn it into the city and ask for all my money back.
Exactly.
But I was like, well, I'm cool and I'm good. I'm not attending none of that messy stuff, because I don't do mess. And I know me and my mouth. I've been and said something. I've been and had to call Kansas City to come and get me, because I'm on my way to jail. Because I done threw a couple of chairs at some people and some more stuff, because I'm a little woman and I know how to bring myself up out of a corner, and I'm gonna come out of it. So I just don't attend, because I know me and I'm unhappy with it right now.
Good.
So I need to keep my little unhappy self away from those people.
Exactly.
I'm touched.
Good. Let me go to Badger. Badger, somebody said the YouTube link ain't working. Somebody said the YouTube link above isn't working. So if you get an opportunity, correct that problem for them, so they don't have the link that's not effective. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Badger?
I was listening to just what people are saying and stuff, and I got too much audio coming through. It's YouTube video is working just fine.
Okay. Might be the system, but go ahead.
I have such an issue with the whole concept of money and things of that nature. But at the same time, I grew up not having much at all as far as money goes. So I view everything that me and my family have is a blessing and nothing more or less. So like we wouldn't have it if creation didn't want us to, and that's the way I've always viewed it. So So I'm actually grateful I'm not a rich person and have to deal with all that money and all that kind of stuff. And for another fact, if I was blessed with that much money, I'd probably give it all away to begin with anyway.
Yep, you and me both.
So it's
Caller, mute
hard
your line. Caller, mute your line for me, please.
to see to hear certain perspectives and stuff, because there are people with money that do a lot of good things, and some people never even know they did. And then there's other people that just go around bragging about it all the time. The ones that brag about it are the ones that concern me the most, because what are they doing behind closed doors? So it's really hard for me to trust people that have a lot of money or that are in positions like the government and different things like that, or certain corporations, because of the research I do, to be honest. And way too many people let money corrupt.
Exactly. And if you're not careful, it can. We have a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Bishop.
Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed.
Man, I need to ask a question. I know you've been listening for a while, but I need to hear your heart. What does money mean to you?
Money really don't mean nothing to me. I don't love money. And my phrase is, I make money. Money don't make me. And so therefore, I'm content with what the Lord has blessed me with. But when the writer was saying the love of money, money is not evil itself, but it's the love of it, what you'll do to try to get it, whether or not you lie, steal, or kill to get that money. And that's what makes money itself to a certain degree, making it evil. But money is necessary for life. And I believe Solomon said, money is the one of all of that. But I'm not crafty for it. I won't lie. I won't cheat you for your money. Everything I get, I work for it and I earn it. And we do need money to survive in this world. Because I'm going to tell you, you got to get medicine. You ain't got no money. How you going to get your medicine? And other things like that. You know, you got to put gas in your car if you have one. If you don't, then you got to use something to catch on, get the transit to wherever you need to go. They don't just let you get on there because you are a citizen of this country. They charge whatever you want to do. Even if you want a bike, unless somebody give you one, you got to go buy that because that's your mode of transportation.
Wow.
That's my. I have really been listening. I've been listening for a while, trying to go in for a while. For some reason, they won't let me connect. So I'm just listening. I'm like Leonard and Pete. I'm just listening.
And this whole money thing, man, we've gotten so caught up in this money system and this thing dealing with money that it's taking our focus away from everything else, away from love, appreciation, and honoring other people for who they are and what they do. Mute your line for me there, Bishop. Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, y'all tell me, but every one of us are have been or always have or will be waiting for that one big chance. Just if I can get that one big chance, is on. Don't know what's on because I don't know how it's going. How I'll find out how I really am. I know what I say I'm going to do, but if I can ever break it, strike it rich, you'll see what kind of person I really am. If I really care for the poor, or if I really want to do ministry, family orientated, because some people, they get money and walk away from their family.
Yeah.
I mean, they just hit the dough. That's their first chance. I finally got enough to leave that crazy woman or that crazy man. Because some people are stuck in situations that the answer to it is a financial, what we call blessing. Finally got blessed enough to leave that food. because people are in situations. So everybody, I believe, are waiting on that. What would you do? That's the question. I'm asking a question, Raheem. What would you do if you had that one big chance? What would you do? That's the question. You'll find out who you really are, probably.
Exactly. Rico, what do you say to that?
I definitely agree. I mean, money, man. I mean, it gives you access. It gives you unlimited access. The more you got, the more access you have to different people, situations, activities. I mean, the world is at your hand when you got so much money, and so it can be somewhat easy for you to forget about family when you get money, because see, it's a big world out here. It's a big world out here, and we are human beings that want to experience what this world has to offer. Some good and some bad. We have desires that we all, you know what I'm saying, get and I ain't gonna say a grasp on. We want to experience it. We want to go to Dubai. We want to go to Las Vegas for every fight. We want to go to Australia. I want to go to Australia and Japan. And we go without having to join the military. And if you got 9 times out of 10, you're going to do that. And in the process of going out here experiencing everything that the world has to offer, even what money will do, it will give you access to things you didn't even know existed. So now another experience. I mean, octopus, and it's good. Not only is octopus good, but it's better in Honduras. So I'm going to fly to Honduras just because I can, because I got that money. A couple of friends with me, and I'm going to show them just how good this octopus was that I had the last time. And I'm going to forget about people because I'm going to be living my best life. And that's what happens. So the thing is that money is a plain, simple object that actually reveals who you are. And it doesn't only reveal who you are, it reveals how strong you are. You are, you know, can you accept, or can you deal with access to certain things? Because to be honest with you, some things everybody don't deserve access to. To it, they get carried away with it, you know. So some things we are meant to have access to, but it will give you access to so many different things that you haven't experienced in your lifetime. So therefore, some people gonna get left out unless they got money to play with you. If they ain't got money to play with you, you can't take everybody with you. That's one thing about it. So you know, unconsciously, that's the consequence behind getting money, because you're gonna end up separating from people that ain't got it in your family and getting around more people that does have it. Just taking trips around the world and traveling and got vacation homes in Australia. You got people, you got friends, you got a whole new status of friends. So that's what happened.
And see the thing about it, and I'm gonna go to Leonard with this one right here. Leonard, you there?
Yes, sir.
Money can, and like we said earlier, money can be a great resource. It can be a great resource, but at the same time, it can also infiltrate even this what is deemed to be the strongest of systems. There was a pastor, I think his name was Swaggart. He said God was going to take him home if he failed to raise $8 million by March 1987. And he had all these people sending him all this money because they didn't want God to take him home, because he told them that God was going to take him home if he didn't raise this money. Like I said, it can be, money can be a great resource, but then again, it can infiltrate even the strongest of systems. Then what do you say to that?
Taking that from the poorest people.
You just said a whole lot, but I would, those people who cared that much about it, more power to them. What they do with their money, that's their money. They ain't my money. I don't care what you do with your money. You can throw it in the trash and burn it if you want to.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
But I'm like I said, I'm not a person that sits around and demonizes money. I mean, I don't, like I said, to me, it's just So 2, I want this. Okay, give me that. Okay, here you go. It is justified to me. I mean, I don't know what else you would be using money for, but to get what you want.
Wow. But the thing about it,
I mean, what else is money for? What else is money for?
I understand what you're saying.
So you just sit around, and just look at it, you just pile it up and look at it. That's sick. That's the sick part.
That's almost like a money fetish. You wouldn't want to sit there and look at it. But my thing is, man, to get to the point, and I understand what you're saying, but to get to the point where you manipulating people for this money, Rico, I can't see that being right. And Kay, coming to you next. What do you say to that, Rico?
It's definitely wrong. Like I said, you got some of the poorest people with the biggest hearts that's falling for those crocodile tears. Best actors. Like I said, you got Creflo Dollar and Joel Osteen, and then you came up with Swagger just then. That was something. I sent you a video last week with a whole lot more of those prosperity preachers saying some of the most outrageous stuff you could say. Then you had the poorest people. Out of their kindness of their heart and their compassion, thinking that God is going to save this man's life if they give him this money, giving up the last they got to give. I've seen people go extremely radical and sacrifice their home lives. Children have to do without so the church can have. I've seen, beyond money, I've seen women so dedicated to the church and to the preaching for the church to gain this money that they trusted the preacher with their own children, and the preacher took advantage of them not only financially, but took advantage of the daughters too. She had so much trust, so much faith. So you got followers, you got the flock, the congregation that's sitting there looking for salvation, and you sitting there looking to see how much you can salvage out of their pockets. That ain't
no. Kay, what's on your heart? Kay, talk to me, man. In 87, he said if he don't raise this amount of money, that God is going to take him home. And people and he got back on TV a little while before the date and say thank you. He cried and all kind of thing. You saved my life. I was wow. Kay, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, that's a wow. Like I would never think like that. Like I have a problem with that. That ain't the way at all. And it just don't make sense to me. Like I go to church, I belong to a church, and I set a tithe that this is what I'm gonna do every month. And if God bless me and I get some unexpected money, anything like the stimulus, then I'm gonna give my portion because that's just what I do, and it's called being obedient to the word because that's in the word, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't have to just make a tithe because I do for the homeless, I do for people, I do nieces and nephews, I help people that I don't know, like I help people. So anytime that you're helping any of God's people or anybody that can't help themselves or needs some help, even a person with a job still need help, and you be that person to help them. God sees all that. I don't have to be on the phone and say, I did this, I did that. Like when I did the Super Bowl, I didn't post it until like 2 days later. And I only posted it to thank all my donators and sponsors that helped me do that. And I put their names like, thank you, y'all. You know, that was a real blessing. And to let them know. Other than that, I'm not gonna go on there. Oh, we down here, we going live and we doing this. And no, not if it's something that I'm doing to help somebody. If I'm down there and they trying to get a crowd to where we are, then I'm gonna go live because this is where we are. And I know people gonna look at my live, they're like, where Kay at? And they're gonna come show up. But other than that, no, that's called boasting and bragging. And then you want to know why did something happen? And when something bad happened, you ain't boasting and bragging no more. Because you don't want nobody to know that bad stuff done happened to you. You just want them to still know all the good stuff. You had billions of dollars. They don't know now that you ain't got even a penny. Because you ain't out here doing what you was doing.
Exactly.
But just like you get it, you lose it. Depends on how you got it.
Absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? You there? Badger, you there?
Yeah, man. Always here.
Okay.
I have my headset on all the time.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you guys have looked at the stimulus package or the bill for this new stimulus check that's coming out. Has anyone in the call looked at it or seen it yet?
I hadn't seen it. No.
That thing's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about doing stuff for veterans, Medicare, upping the minimum wage up to $15 an hour by 2025. They're talking up to some of what I read, because there's so much. I don't think I've ever seen a bill that's that big.
Mm-hmm.
If a family is like under 75,000 or something like that, they can get up to $5,000 of a stimulus check.
Mm-hmm.
I believe is what I was reading. But they're also supposed to be giving funds toward WIC, Medicare, food stamps across this is all across the country kind of thing.
So basically, they're really trying to help people.
That's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we were talking about illusion and control and different things like that. I view this as a blessing for a lot of people because a lot of people could use it right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like even like me and my family, if we can use it to get some repairs done on the house we need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
It's even though they're throwing money around like they are right now, and I view a lot of it as like really awesome stuff, I'm still concerned about what they're doing that isn't as publicized, if at all. And I think that's something else that, people need to pay attention to and keep in mind. We're talking about rich people or people with a lot of money, and talking about watching them and paying attention to see, what happens at the end and different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Badger, and I understand what you're saying, and you're making a very valid point. But I think some people are in situations right now where, and this could be very sad. And I'm gonna go to Pete as well. This could be very sad, but I think a lot of people are in situations right now, down streets right now, where they don't care what what the other side is, or what they're doing on the outside of it. They just know they need help. And if somebody's gonna come along and give them the money that's gonna help them get out of that hole that they're in, I think a lot of people are just to the point where, we'll deal with all that other stuff later. But right now, help me. Help me.
see, I'd be very cautious of that just in general. But I'm one
Mm-hmm.
of the lucky ones. I know how to fish, I know how to hunt, I know how to have a garden.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I can make a TP, all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of stuff. So I can take care of my family if I absolutely have to.
Not
You
everybody
know,
can do that, brother.
yeah, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But but I understand what you're saying. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that oh, I'm gonna that to me, when things get to that borderline, that's when I start talking about sheeples and the slave mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
They're just finding another way to do it.
Okay. But like I say, a lot of times, and Pete, what do you say to that? I think a lot of times, some people are just in situations, man, where they, help me. I'm in this hole, man. This hole is getting deeper and deeper. Now, if you're gonna send me 5,000 or 3,000, whatever it is, to help me get out of this hole, help me. I deal with the rest of the stuff later, but right now, get me out this hole. What do you say to that, Pete?
Well, the Bible says the poor you're gonna have always.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always gonna be people with needs. Us having the mentality as the people to do the best we can, be as frugal and as intelligent and disciplined as we can with our financing and resources, and especially at this time, is critical. Certainly, we have many with great need, and it's looking like we're going to have many more coming online soon with great needs: housing, employment, basic needs, food, shelter, clothing, water, and I'm sure if many could get some form of relief, they would be more than happy to accept it. So, but we really want to understand the importance of being industrious, being personally and collectively responsible. Those that are endeavoring to assist in these areas, they're being personally responsible. But then there's also a collective that's somewhat supporting and needed to support. So, that's just kind of how I see it and where we are. But it's looking like, let the God have some great mercy. We're getting ready to see some strange happenings.
Exactly. And there's a lot of things. Let me, before I even say that, let me go to Kay, and I'm asking Kay this question. Kay, is there some things out there that money just can't fix?
You say there's some things money can't fix?
Yes, cannot fix. Yes. Because a lot of people think that money is the key.
It's a lot of things money can't fix. It's a lot. Like, money can't fix. Well, I'm gonna have to say it's an individual thing, because money can't fix a relationship. If my heart is broke, all the money in the world ain't gonna fix that. All the money in the world is just not gonna do it. The only thing money can fix is your bills, your utilities, your house note, your car note. That's it. As far as an individual, your personal, your health and stuff, money can't really even fix your health. If your health is bad and there's nothing they can do about it, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the surgery in the world, but your health is still bad. Wow. See, it's a perfect example. Women running around here ain't happy with their breasts and their butt, and they spending all this money. Now they start losing their life behind it. Trying to fix their body with money.
Wow.
Money don't fix everything. Sometimes money tear things down, and it's tearing these people's bodies down.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't dare.
Donald, what do you say to that, man? Is there some things that money just can't fix?
Money can't buy your love. Some people, no matter how much money they get, no matter how many different avenues the money comes from, they continuously being want, because they got a hole in their pocket. They're always in need of something, because the priorities can't fix your priorities. Because there are some people that you'll help them next month, next month you got to help them again. 6 months, they come to you this week. 6 months later, you need to help them pay their light bill again. Their car note is due again. They can't pay insurance. They don't have food on their table again. What reasons is that? When you can't fix laziness.
Yeah.
You can't fix wastefulness, morals and values, temperance. The money can't buy yet. No matter what you do, there are people that we see it all the time. I mean, I think you said that they'll how do you say it? What they do is they splurge.
They pay for what they want and beg for what they need.
Exactly. Every day. We have A lot of people have children that when they get some money, they won't pay them bills that they need. They talk about they've been behind for a while. They go out to the club and they go buy seafood and they have let the good times roll. And then they call you up and they say, "Oh, by the way, my light bill's due."
Wow.
So money can't fix that because it happens over and over again. They got ladies, young women, that they get their income tax and their 4 baby daddies' income tax. And by March, April, they still get their lights cut off.
Yeah.
With a joker sitting on the couch.
Wow. Wow.
Money can't fix that.
Exactly. Rico, what do you say to that?
Tell me I'm lying.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Correct. It can't buy you common sense. It can't buy you morals. It can't buy you any logic. I mean, it can buy you a lot of access and opportunity to do what you want to do. It can buy you it can give you the opportunity to allow you the opportunity to make a fool out of yourself and watch how you lose it. I've seen people lose millions, get down to the point where they gotta go make the least amount of money. I mean, it's amazing to see that. So $1 million ain't nothing. A lot of people think $1 million is something. It ain't nothing.
That's not a lot of money. Yeah.
It can't bring back the dead. What it can do, it can give you the opportunity to try. It can give you the access to people that will say, well, you know what? We might be able to come up with some kind of procedure to reverse this kind of process, recreate these cells, clone, or whatever. You know, think about what cloning is now. You know, that it took money for them to come up with that research. And now all of a sudden you don't hear anything about it anymore. I wonder why. The reason why we probably don't hear anything about it, but because now people that got money got access to it, and it's on a need to know basis.
Yep.
Same with medicine, you know, certain medicine. Magic Johnson went a long time with HIV. He was dying, other people wasn't dying. It was very few people that survived as long as he did. But you never saw the effects of it ravage his body. Money was able to do that. It was able to give him the best of the best. These different actors, they go different places and get served. Actually, there are certain procedures in America you can't get done. Certain stem cell procedures you can't get done. You go to Germany or Costa Rica and get it. You got money, you can go on and get over there and get it. So, I mean, it gives you a lot of access, but what it can't do, it cannot give you common sense, and it can't give you a heart, and it will not bring anybody around you that's honest.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what do you say to that, brother? What are some of the things that money cannot fix?
Whatever ain't got no price tag. I mean, like I said, I don't have a lot of personal issues when it comes to things because of my perception of things. So I'm not fixated about those types of things. You know, what if and that. You know, whatever money does, whatever it can be used for, great. The other things that money just has nothing to do with. It just has nothing to do with. Like there's the difference between wellness and what healthcare costs. I mean, you may want to go one route that is completely natural route that you can grow everything or what have you, but you know where you gonna get the dirt. You know, so we have to, you know, not take things out of context. I mean, there are obviously things that money can buy, but we can't act as if we're not benefiting from it as well. You know what I mean? You know, I think of things as trying to use it in the right way for things to get better, as a tool to make things better. I have good intentions. I want to buy more land, grow my own stuff, because I'm into that type of thing. But I don't fault someone else if they want to choose something else.
If they want to go in a different direction.
You know, because whatever they choose, they're going to need probably money to make that happen.
Okay.
You know, some people say you can't buy peace. But I can tell you, it can make things seem a whole lot more peaceful.
Well, when people say you can't buy peace, I don't know if I agree with that, because, you know, not that I have to buy it. I just go somewhere by myself. And
you can pay people not to fight.
Or you can pay people to fight.
Exactly. So, you know, the money is the tool. The intentions with it and things in your concept of money is what give us these terrible things when we relate it automatically to corruption. And if we surround ourselves with what is corruptible about money, you'll almost teach yourself to not want any money, or to think of money as a bad thing and thereby justify your own poverty.
Okay.
Be careful of that.
Exactly. Okay. Good to go. Badger, what do you say to that, man? What are some of the things in your world that money cannot buy?
My belief in my family. A lot of people have sold their way of life to earn a paycheck. I will not do that. I actually told you when you called last night about something that happened, and it has a lot to do with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's I'm looking for words. You know, I worked really hard all my life, and when my back gave out on me, you know, I was mad because I wanted to earn every single thing I got to be able to take care of my family. So when I was first told to get SSI, I actually said no. But the more the lawyers, the doctors, my wife, people I consider friends, they showed so much concern about my physical well-being that I finally said, fine, I'll do it. So even though I'm on disability, I spend a lot of my time doing research, getting involved with the community when I can. Being an advocate. So I try to use my time, and that's how I tithe. I use the time I have and my brain to help people, be it give them information, research, teach them how to access certain things so they know what's going on, help them be able to find help for the situations they're in to get back on their feet. So hopefully they don't end up in the situation that I'm in. So I grew. So I think mentality has a lot to do with the view of money as well.
That's good.
Like I can't just sit here and receive a check and do nothing. I think that's absolutely lazy and taking away from the people. If you don't, if you're not giving back in one way, shape, or form, I have issues with that.
That's
personally.
Good. Let me go to Kay. Kay with the E. I'm ask you this question. Money is not an option. Money is not an option. All the money that you need, all the money that you want is there. Okay? How did your life change?
It doesn't. Because you know what? I can honestly tell you that if I had my own little struggle. I got hurt back in 2006, couldn't go to work. I found out who my true friends were. From 2006 until 2012, I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go make no type of money, like literally. And I have 5 children. I said, that's why he blessed me with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they truly helped me and they took care of me. It showed me that I didn't have those friends that I helped. All them people I took care of, all them people that come stay with me. I couldn't call them and get $20.
Mm.
But I can honestly tell you that when God opened doors, he opened doors.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter tell everybody, it's been 2 years. My man called me and said she needs $20. She needs nothing. Like, she buy everybody's cake for everybody's birthday. Like, she's been doing real good, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So when I tell you I have a unlimited income through my praise and
Come
his
on.
grace, his will,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need it one for nothing. Like, if it's something I want to go purchase, take and go purchase it. Like, it's God.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been there where I didn't have any money. Now I got some money. I can honestly say that I got some money, and and it's okay. I told my daughter just to have money threw away in a stash that I can go get, because I've always been able to do that. I have what I have in the bank, and I have what I have at home. And when I can't go from home and get some money, I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I make money, money don't make me.
Come on.
So it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to make sure that I have what Kay needs.
Yeah.
So when Kay goes to the store and she want a bottle of water, I have never drunk faucet water. Even as a kid, my mother boiled my water.
Mm-hmm.
It has always cramped my stomach, and I have always gotten sick. So I've never had faucet water in my life. Never. And so I go buy water. And if I can't go buy me a bottle of water, I got a problem. And so I have to make sure, and I prayed, and that was my prayer to God, that I just want to be able to purchase what I need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be able to purchase for somebody else. I want to be able to purchase my needs.
Come on.
Make sure my needs are taken care of. And that's my prayer. And he answered it. But in order for me to get an answered prayer, I had to be obedient to him.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to just give me my needs because I'm here on this earth. He's going to give me my needs because I'm being obedient.
Yes.
And being appreciative of the breath that he breathes in me every morning, that I get on the prayer line and get on this call with y'all.
Absolutely.
Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't do it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Good deal. We got another caller from the 816 area code. Area 816, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Goddess.
Hey, Goddess. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm calling from KC.
Come from KC. The place that lost the Super Bowl. Oh, I ain't say that. But Goddess, what does money what does money mean to you?
What does money mean to me? It's actually something that we all need. Some need more than others. Money is the root of all evil too.
Mm-hmm.
It stems from evil. And I remember back in the day when they used to have the bargaining program, where we all used to bargain and you get better quality of stuff with the bargaining program.
Mm-hmm.
So money was never the main focus on anything that you did. But I remember times when I had a lot of money, and I remember now that I don't. You know, I'm a lot more humble.
Mm-hmm.
I always had God. I probably was in church more then than I am now. Matter of fact, I went to church 24/7, and every program that church had. But now I do more for God's people than I did because I was always working.
Mm-hmm.
I was always working. So I made sure that my Sundays I wasn't working. I made sure that I was choir rehearsal, praise dance, you know. But I don't feel like I feel now that I do more of God's work uh, with less money, and God does look out for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's not a major thing, but I do see that it's something that is very imperative in our life today.
Good deal. Good deal.
Like have nice things.
Absolutely.
So,
Let me go to Rico. Rico, money is not an option. All the money that you need or want or desire is there. How does that change Rico's life? Where Rico exists and what he do on a day to day?
I'm sort of trying to understand the question you're asking. You said money is not an option.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, you have somebody say, look here, don't worry about how much it costs. I got you. Don't worry about it. Money's not an option. You don't have to worry about how much it costs. Whatever you want, the money's there. Do it.
Right.
How does that change? How does that change your life?
Oh, it changes it a lot because I go and take care of some of the needs, my needs and needs of others that are important to me that need to be done. You know, I can go and help some of the people that I've come across and come in communication with in the past that I know still need certain things. I can go and contribute to them. You know, help. It's all, you know, to me, I'm the type of person I probably would give away a lot of money to. Don't get me wrong, I don't lie. I'm gonna act a fool. I'm gonna act a fool. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna do some activism, and then I'm probably gonna be up in Magic City paying somebody rent too. You know, I'm gonna act a fool. Yeah, just keeping it real. I'm gonna act a fool because money ain't an option.
That's real. That's real though.
It's a hard desire. You might go to every All-Star game, NBA All-Star game, and spend the whole week. I might go a week ahead of time. I might decide to start doing bike week, but at the same time, I'm still gonna do some of the things I know need to be done. I'm gonna enjoy myself, but there are so many people that I know of that are without, and it's not because they don't have, they didn't make an effort. It's because maybe where they came from, maybe they started out in the hole. You know, we have so many children that are born already in a hole with they're in a negative already. When they come into this world, they have their back is against the wall. And the next day, the back is farther against the wall, all because they were born into a situation where their parents weren't prepared to have children. I know some of those situations. So I would help. I know people that didn't go to college and had to go straight to work to provide for the family, but they were very intelligent. I would try my best to provide an income for them so they could actually go to school. So, I mean, I would be benevolent. You know, it was a guy a couple of years ago, like maybe last year, 2 years ago, gave away all of his fortune. He was like worth $2 billion. And he gave away all of his money. It was a big write-up in the newspaper about it. But matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up and share it to you in a minute.
Okay.
You have philanthropists like that really, they want to help people actually have access and experience some of the finer things in life that they want to or maybe just need to survive.
Exactly. Now, Badger, what do you say to that, man? Money's not an option. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, when you want to do it, why you want to do it is not an option. How does that change your life, Badger?
None. I'm the same person no matter what.
So if somebody say, look here, Badger, we write you giving you a blank check. I want you to fill it out for $1 billion. I want $1 billion right now. Go to the bank, deposit it, and you're saying to me that you have $1 billion in the bank, your life won't change at all.
Aside from being able to help more people, no. I live life very simply. I don't need all those extra frou-frou things people talk about.
Okay.
Like, I'm not trying to sound like all goody two-shoes or anything. I am who I am.
Okay.
And I'm not going to let something control me.
And see, my thing is, can't nobody change that. You know you better than anybody else. So who am I to say, well, it will change you? I can't say that, brother. You know you better than I know you. So that's your answer. But watch this. Leonard, you got $1 billion right now. Somebody come to you, they give you $1 billion. They say, Leonard, this is you've been doing great things in and around the community for all this time. I want to pay you for what you're worth. Here's $1 billion. Go put it in your bank account right now. When you deposit that $1 billion into your bank account, Leonard, how does that change you? Who you are, what you do, what does it do to you?
It funds the vision that's already there, that I already work on every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funding for the vision. It don't provide the vision.
Mm-hmm.
It funds the vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go, trust me, and if you have a big enough vision, guess what? You can easily spend that $2 billion.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Won't take long.
So, you know, I'm one of the type of person to take my money and do what Akon does with his money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, those types of things. Building, you know, for places, you know, that don't have electricity, running water, and things like that. You know, projects with, like your man Elon Musk and all these people, they have visions of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So they invest in space technology. Now he's bought himself a spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Because of his vision. He's funding his vision. He don't care nothing about the money as long as he can fund his vision.
Mm-hmm.
His vision costs billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to get billions of dollars. And that's what he's about every day.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's funding his vision.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let me go to one of the ladies. Kay, what do you say to that, Kay? You got $1 billion. How does that change your life?
Come back to me.
Okay. Goddess?
Yes.
How does that change your life?
First of all, anybody to get $1 billion to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, if anybody knows that you have $1 billion, automatically you are a suspect. They put you, you know, people are going to come around you. They're going to be having their hands out. You're going to be susceptible to criminal behavior. You're going to be a target.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it changes everybody's life. That's why a lot of billionaires are secluded. And I wouldn't want to be a billionaire where everybody knew what I was or what I had.
So, Goddess, would you and not necessarily you personally, but if somebody lived in the hood, grew up in the hood all their life, and all of a sudden they become a billionaire, would they have to move?
They would. I mean, I'm just put it like this: you become a target, and I would say, yeah. We just had Lamont McIntyre, who served I don't know how many years in penitentiary. He picked up his family and he moved. He lived right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
He moved.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up his family, got $1 million or whatever, so million, and he picked up his family and he moved. So, you know, I know some old millionaires that like Luther White and all them that grew up. My god uncle, I know them. They all millionaires, but they stayed in the neighborhood. They built their business in the neighborhood. I don't say all of them, but I think it's how you carry yourself and what you do. I think in today's market, in today's world, it makes a difference in change because people like to target people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just my personal, because they have no integrity. And back then, integrity was key.
Yep.
Not saying everybody's like that, but you do have some people that are not like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's questionable.
Exactly.
Motives.
Mm-hmm. Like the fellow that won that lottery and his friend girlfriend, I don't know whether it's girlfriend or not, killed him and buried him in the backyard. All for money. All for money. Crazy.
She was a stranger. She didn't even know him before he won that money, but he was trying to get away from everybody else. You talking about the black guy in the order?
Yeah.
She was supposed to have been writing a life story and a book for him and this and that, and then killed him and buried him on the concrete slab in her yard.
Exactly. Took all his money. Ain't that something? All for money. Pete, how would that change you, brother? Pete? Brother Pete, you there? I don't know what Pete got going on over there. Pete, are y'all mute, brother? AK, are you back with us? K with the knee. Rico, take it, Rico.
You know, that was big that what Badger put in there about who did the money come from.
Mm-hmm.
It come by unscrupulous means. I mean, were people ripped off from it, or I ain't gonna even say manipulated unfairly with an unfair game. And some people say there's no such thing as unfair. You know, they don't have a problem with monopolies or the interest rates not being equal, but you know, some do. I put it to this way: you have like the difference between going to get a loan from a bank and then going to get one from a finance company. That bank might 5% or 7% interest rate. That finance company might give you a 19% interest rate. You know, you don't want to get your money from people that have been ripped off or have been manipulated because they have a choice but to go that route, like a check cashing company. Like I really don't like pawn shops and check cashing companies. Now, I'm sort of 50-50 on bail bondsmen because people do need to get out of jail, but in the greed of money can make bail bondsmen turn into people that might start snitching on people. Situation come up one time on I got a crazy past, man. I assaulted somebody one time. And it wasn't my fault. They had a machete or a sword, and they swung it at me. They didn't swing it at me. They just swung it in my presence, and then threatened if I moved, they were going to use it on me too. And I'm the type of person that, well, you're going to have to just go ahead and kill me. I'm going to have to do what I have to do. So I caught the guy later on, and I assaulted him pretty bad, put him in the hospital. And so I had an aunt that was married to this guy. I'm not going to even call him my uncle. He's a piece of trash. And he's a preacher at that. He sucked his way up into working for this bail bonding company and then called me and asked me to come down to the police department to talk to a detective about me assaulting this guy. But they go to the police department. He didn't report it. He left it alone. He didn't have nothing to do with it. So I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. What kind of fool would I be to just go in here and volunteer to tell an officer, hey, man, I know ain't nobody call the police and you ain't got no report, but I just beat somebody terribly with a bat.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail.
You know what? He was trying to find a way to get some bond money. He was opportunity to make more money. You already bonding people out of jail. I was helping you bond people out because people would call my number because he would be asleep in the middle of, and I'd go get him and wake him up so he could go get the money. Light out. But then he wanted to use me as an opportunity to fill his pockets, to advance his career as being a big. So, I mean, you know, people will manipulate you, man. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't want to make money that way. Like I said, I respect bail bondmen that have to get people out of jail and this and that, man. But it gets to a point sometime where people get corrupted. And don't get me wrong, that was his nature anyway. Money just gave him the opportunity to do it again. I ain't gonna even say money. The job gave him an opportunity to do it, and he did it for the money.
Exactly. Pete, are you there? Pete, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Badger, coming to you next, Badger.
When you said talk to me, I almost just started just talking about anything, right?
Well, that's Leonard. That's Leonard.
Hey, it's real different. I'm listening to the whole situation. I'm glad, you know, one thing about it, financial security is a big deal to me. You know, and like you say, you can get money a good way and a bad way. You know, some people live every day having to look over their shoulder because of how they make their money.
Yep. Yep.
Everybody got a different use for money. But at the end of the day, it's about the desire of the heart with the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that you out here, you know, robbing people. Like some people think you rob them just because, one, they feel that they should have paid less.
Now, let me ask you this question. And this is something that was said to me. As a matter of fact, the Laugh said it years ago. And I see it all the time on the show here. He said, givers have to set limitation because takers don't have any.
I mean, exactly. And, you know, my whole philosophy is based on, you know, everybody should have the ability to maximize their potential.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do that in a fair way.
Mm-hmm.
In a fair way. Not to keep certain people from making more money, because definitely people's hard work should be rewarded. People who work more should have more.
Mm-hmm.
People who invest more in their lives should reap more benefits.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And those who sit by the wayside are going to be on the wayside.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But if they're happy there, I ain't got no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So people should be, at least I'm fighting for people to choose that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to live in a society where people do have the opportunity to make as much money as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put some restrictions and regulate things to a way that is beneficial to the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't make money if ain't nobody buying what you're selling.
Exactly. Can you smell? I went somewhere else. I'm sorry. But yeah, and that's a lot. It's a lot tied into this whole thing about money, man. Because some people, you know, good, bad, evil, honest. There's a lot of different things going on, and they're dealing with this money thing. And I think it has a lot to do with who you are before, during, and after you get that money. It has a lot to do with who you are before, during, and after you get that money. Because, like everybody's been saying on the broadcast, man, money, once you get the money, it's only going to enhance who you were in the beginning. It's only going to enhance it. And if you was a dirty, low down, no good scoundrel, you're gonna be a rich, dirty, no good scoundrel. But if you're a good person with a good heart and you want to do good things for good people, you're gonna be a good person with a good heart that want to do good things for good people. And now you have the means to do so. Badger, you say you had something on your heart, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, you know, if I really was put in a situation where money was no issue and I just practically had all the, like, money at my access 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
I'd buy our government back.
Who would you put in charge?
Someone like Leonard.
Leonard, don't you do that, man. No. Leonard, that's my brother. I love him. But no.
Please go get handcuffs and a gag for Raheem, please.
No. Leonard, that's my brother. I love him dearly. Do anything in the world for him, and I know he know that. But no.
It has to be fair, right?
Well,
Leonard.
I'd actually want to take one person from every kind of environment to fill the seats. So we'd have a druggies point of view, we'd have a disabled point of view, we'd have someone from the ghettos point of view, someone from the country's point of view, instead of nothing but rich people's point of views and what they think is best for us.
That's good. I see, and I've been saying this for years, man. If anybody want to go into government or some kind of government or whatever, I've been saying this for years, man. They have to live in the ghetto. They should have to live in the ghetto, in the hood, for at least 6 months before they take any office. You got to live. You got to go down there with the people and live in the roughest part of your city or state for 6 months, because you need to know who the people are, what you are, and who you representing. Because if you come from a place with I think. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I might be wrong again one day before I pass on. But my thing is this right here: if you're going to represent people, you have to know who they are. You can't just represent. You can't just be the one that live on the best part of town with a silver spoon in your mouth, thinking you're going to be represent the people that live in the hood in the bottom. You don't know nothing
So
about the man. You don't know nothing about the bottom.
why would you want to kill those people? You like they wouldn't be able to survive.
Well, but if they do and they come out, I think they'll come out different. I think they'll come out with a clear and a better and a broader understanding as to what
That's a
they're.
big if.
Nah, I don't think it's if at all. I don't think it's if. I say maybe it is, but my thing is this right here. Once they go through that transition, 6 months, you got to stay there for 6 months, Rico. I think it'll make a huge difference in their whole perspective of what it is that they're trying to do.
I know a guy that ran for mayor that did that one time. He went on one of the councilman's house. Actually, the guy, he lives around the corner from me, and he's living on the better side of town. And the house that he went to live at, but stay at for a few days, was my first child's mother home. So it's a big write up in the paper about it because, you know, they was trying to gel the community together. But I like what he did because it was so different and it was sincere because it actually showed that he was willing to go through the same experiences as some of those that he didn't, you know, some of them live opposite of what he did, because his story coming up totally different than the black person's point of view. He never had on that side of town. But I'm gonna ask you something. What's the original question to this topic today?
What does money mean to you?
Okay. Now, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that over here in America, we have such an emphasis on money, and I think some people don't realize that credit is more important than money. In this country, credit system. And the downside of that with the money is that now a lot of people's riches are built off the debt of others, like debt for others. So that, I mean, you know, that goes back to the last question you asked. If somebody were to give you $1 billion or $2,
hey, hold on, Rico, hold on. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. Everybody that's on the phone line, mute your line because we getting a real bad feedback. Go ahead, Rico.
If you was asking that if somebody was to give you so much amount of money, you know, what would you do with it or whatever? You know, I like Badger said earlier, I don't know about what accepted depending on how unfairly it was or fairly or righteously it was, you know, accumulated. But we have to keep that in mind sometimes, that there are a lot of losers in this money and this credit game, because without people going in debt, a lot of people wouldn't be rich.
Exactly.
Hey, Rico, I want to add something to what you're saying. You remember when Annette show popped up on the show and talked about them trust funds that are tied to our social numbers? Honestly, a lot of Americans probably wouldn't be in debt for the rest of their life if they actually knew how to access it.
Right.
Exactly. And let's talk about the banking system for a while, for a minute. Kay, do you know how much money the banks make a year in them overdraft fees? Charging people for overdrafts and stuff like that, and charging them more money when they don't have money. It's an overdraft, you know, it's being overdraft because they didn't have the money. And now you're charging them $35, $25, $35. Majority of the time, I think it's what, like $35. How, you know, overdraft? What is it? 30, 34, 35, something like that. Well, you're charging them that much money. You're charging the person that didn't have the money more money because they didn't have the money, and you're making millions and billions of dollars a year. Kay, I don't understand the logic in that. It's money making. This is business. They're making money, but what's the logic in that though? Kay, you there? Kay, wake up and go to sleep.
You said Kay?
Yes, ma'am.
What you asked me?
The overdraft, the banks charge them overdraft fees and how much money they make every year with overdraft fees. Charging people that don't have money in the first place. That's why they got overdrafts. So you're charging them money that they don't have on top of the money.
And you know what I have to say to that? I love my bank. I really do. Because I had an overdraft, and I just sat there one day and went through my account, And I had like all these different overdrafts, like almost $300 worth.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I need to speak to the president of the bank, and I need to speak to him now. Like, this is ridiculous. I said, y'all are just robbing people. Just imagine the little elderly people that don't never look at their statements.
Exactly.
Y'all probably just are robbed them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, a person that don't pay a statement or attention or go to their email, and they don't even open the email. I was like, this is just ridiculous. When I tell y'all they refunded all of them, they refunded all of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now I pay attention to it. Because you can easily overdraft and not even know you didn't overdraft.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get another deposit, but you ain't paid attention to that overdraft that they charged you.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And they gave it all back. And they do not charge me for overdraft no more.
And see, and that's the thing right there. They're making millions and billions of dollars. These banks are making millions and billions of dollars every year just on overdrafts. Just on overdrafts. Charging people money for money that they didn't have. Now you're going to charge them some more money. They didn't have the money, but you're going to charge them more money. Goddess, I don't understand that. What's this?
Getting rich off of putting people in debt.
Exactly. Goddess, what do you say to that? Goddess, are you there? My women falling asleep on me today, ain't they? Goddess, you there?
I'm not falling asleep. Yes,
okay.
I had it on mute.
Oh, okay. All right, man.
Mm-hmm. What do I say to what?
And you ain't, Lord, my Jesus, the overdraft fees, the overdraft fees, the bank making billions of dollars on overdraft, charging people overdraft $35 every time they overdraft. They don't have the money. That's why they overdraft. But now you're going to charge them $35 more.
I belong to a credit union. For one, I stopped really dealing with banks on my. I belong to a credit union, so my business account.
Mm-hmm.
And by being a member of a credit union, they work with me a little, So I think the overdraft fees. Bank of America was notorious for it. I used to work for Bank of America. And believe me, they are notorious for it. That was one of the major issues that I had with them. And certain people, they would write off their fees for them. If you had a whole lot of money, those are the ones that didn't need the fees written off. And the ones that did need it, they didn't want to write off the fees. Like, it was really weird. And I was able to see the internal defects of it, and it finally manifested itself in people. It became a lawsuit out of it. So, because they was processing the way they processed their checks and debit items, they would take the largest first, not the ones that first come in. They would take the largest person and do that, and then still hold your money and put a hold on your money on your deposits. Right? It was crazy. So
they got a racket going on.
I was witnessing this. I was witnessing that in 2009, and I was like, "This is just." Matter of fact, that was one of the reasons why me and my supervisor kind of got into it, because it was a police officer that had gotten. Had to have open heart surgery, and he was just going through a real bad time. And he had took out one of them payday loans, and them payday loan people, boy, they was tearing his butt up.
Woo, Lord
and
Jesus,
I closed his account and opened up another account so they couldn't get a hold to the account. And then he had overdraft fees on top of that. Like, it was really sad. And he came in, he was in so much pain, but he had to come in and handle his account. Because he didn't have a lot of people that could. When you sick like that, you don't have you got to come and show up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then I had just dealt with somebody else that had a whole lot of money, and they didn't have a problem with waiving they $200 worth of fees. I had an issue with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he had over $20,000 or $30,000 in the bank.
Wow, and see, that's the thing, Rico.
I seen for myself ahead of time. I said, this is going to be a problem later.
Yep, exactly. And Rico, they capitalize. We got to get out of here, man. It's 10:04. We got to get out of here. But they capitalize on that, man. They make millions and billions of dollars every year.
And it's crooked. It's
yeah.
crooked.
You can't tell me it's not. You can't tell me it's not.
I had a situation happen with two banks. When she bought up Bank of America, I was like, man, she beat me to it. I was going to bring up Bank of America. I deal with credit unions too, but you still have to have major banks that are nationwide. So I still have to keep some kind of account open. But Bank of America and Compass BBVA got me. And I called myself playing this right because I knew how the overdraft system would work. So during the recession, 2009, I think that's when they took most advantage of it to put more people in the hole. Christmas came around, and I made 2 small purchases before midnight intentionally because I knew small purchases wasn't going to be overdrafts. But I knew to go Christmas shopping that night. And if I had gone Christmas shopping earlier, then that would have made those 2 small purchases overdrafts too. So I made the 2 small purchases first. Then after midnight, I went Christmas shopping, went to the super center, did the Christmas shopping, got my bill back, and they took that purchase that I made after midnight at the super center and put it before purchases, and then said that that's the order that they go in from largest to smallest. I said, well, you automatically guaranteeing yourself to hit me more than one time with an overdraft fee if you're going from largest to smallest, because you know the smallest probably would keep me from overdrafting. So why would you make a specific attempt to jump over to a bigger number and put me in debt 2 more times? So that's the system that's in play. And, you know, so when you say, what does money mean to me? It means to me that it is a tool that will reveal what people will do to get it.
Yeah.
They step all over you and not care what you got going on at home, who needs to eat, what bills you need to pay.
Exactly. Leonard, close us out, brother. What's on your heart? Overdrafts.
You know, you said that. You know what I call it? I call it banking and finance. That's what I call it. You don't have to put your money in the bank.
Where you gonna put it in the sock and keep it in the backyard? What you gonna do like the old folks do, put it in the sock and keep it in the backyard?
One of the things I learned from, check cashing places or what have you, because at that point, I used to go to the liquor store to cash my check. My only contact with them is, hey, how you doing? Here's my license. This is me. This is my check. Give me my money. Then I had to go down the street to pay this bill. Then I had to go somewhere else to pay that bill. I had to go somewhere else to pay that bill. But then it became more convenient for me to use the bank and get a card and do all these other types of things. Structure your life the way you want it and quit believing that you're a slave and you won't have to worry about these things.
Well, see,
if you don't want to deal with a bank, don't deal with a bank.
See, a lot of people, Leonard, now, see, you old school, Leonard. You might take your money, put it in a mason jar, tie, squeeze the top on it real quick.
Yes, sir. If that's how you got the hole. That's how you got the hole.
And dig your hole. You got 4 holes. One, this hole here got less than $100. This hole here got.
And we laugh about it or what have you, but my whole thing is, if you do not care for the way something in your life is, it's your responsibility to change it. Find out a way to do it different if that's how you want to do it. But don't feel as if you're a slave if you're not. Exercise your authority and choose and set your course and go that way.
That's good. That's good.
But we cannot demonize everything as if it is against us.
I ain't saying it's against us. I'm not saying it's against us. I'm just saying, to me, the way I view it is wrong. It's just wrong on so many different levels, man. You charge the people all this money. They didn't have the money in the beginning. It's overdraft because they didn't have the money. They overdraft because they didn't have the money.
I paid the bill for you.
Who paid the bill?
But I paid the bill for you.
Sometimes they don't pay the bill. Sometimes they just hit you anyway.
But I paid the bill for you.
Sometimes they don't pay the bill, brother. Sometimes they don't pay the bill.
Sometimes they don't pay the bill. Doing business.
Sometimes they charge you. Sometimes they charge you because of the fact that you attempted to take money out, and they say, you didn't have the money in there.
My grandmother told me one thing about money and credit and all these different things. If you go get them people's stuff, have enough sense to realize you're gonna have to pay for it. Everything you go get from somebody else, there's a cost associated with it.
No, not everything. Now, that's a broad.
You may not pay it, but there's a cost.
We're gonna touch on this tomorrow because I got many different ways I could go into here. Looking at the clock, so I can't do it right now because if I say it right now, we're gonna be another 45 minutes talking about this. So I'm not gonna say it right now. We're gonna touch on this tomorrow. But there's a lot of things I could come back with what you just said. There's a lot of ways I could come back with that. But what I need you to do for me, Linda, if you don't mind doing so, brother, tell us what's going on at 3:00 today.
If you did not get a chance to hear the show in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Good deal. K with an E. K with an E.
K with the E. I'm here.
Pray us out, sis.
Sure. Father God, we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts, Father God. Father God, we just thank you, Father God. We thank you for this radio host. We thank you for the show. We thank you for the participants, and we thank you for our listeners. We ask you to just reach and touch every last one of us, lift them up if we have any falling down. We ask you to look into the community, look into the homeless. We ask you to just lift them all up, the men and women and children that have been incarcerated and the sick and the shedding. We ask all this in your sweet son Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Man, it's been a great broadcast, man. I'm gonna tell you something. What does money mean to you? What does money mean to you? Honestly speaking, if I was asked a question, truth of the matter, don't mean nothing to me. Simple as it is, it really don't. My wife, when we first got together, and she realized what I was saying and what I meant. She said, you telling the truth. You really don't care about money. I really don't. I know now. Do I know and understand that you have to have money for certain things? Absolutely, you do. Certain things you have to pay for. Certain things you got to buy. But is it a force in my life? Do I lean on it? Never have, never will. Never have, never will. If I wake up in the morning a billionaire, I'm still gonna be Raheem. I'm still gonna come in here. I'm still gonna hopefully talk to y'all. Y'all still gonna come in and talk to us. But I'm not gonna change. If somebody needs something, I have a roundabout way I like to do things. I just send it to them. You don't need to know where it came from. I'm not, I'm not the guy that's gonna have this camera and get on here and say this or say that or you remember I did this for you. Nah. And if don't nobody, if the person I do it for, if they do know that it was me, if they don't come and tell you that Raheem did it, you'll never know.
You got my address, Raheem?
Absolutely. 777. I got your number.
Make sure.
I got your number 777-4711, right?
Nah. Drop that off. Send it in that mailbox.
There you go. But see, I think that's the way it should be, man. Money, we put too much on money. We put too much emphasis on money. We love it too much, and we old man said to me one time, and I know y'all have heard this before because I've heard it several times after that. But he said, you're going to feed what you love. You're going to feed what you love. And if it's money that you love and you're going to go after that thing wholeheartedly, you're going to feed what you love and you're going to do whatever you have to do to get that money because you love it so much. You think it's the answer all, the cure all to everything, and it really isn't. It isn't. I see this all the time. My daughter, she was young, and y'all heard me say this too. My daughter came to me one day. She said, "Daddy, ain't more money, more problems?" I said, "Yeah, baby." She said, "Well, I want to take some of your problems. Give me that money." And my daughter, I got 4 girls, and they know that there's nothing in this world I would not do for them, even give my life if it comes down to that, because I love them just that much. But what does that have to do with money? Absolutely nothing. Love. Try love. Try it. Value that more than you value money. Just see what change it makes in your life. But anyway, it is 10:13. 10:13. We're about to get out of here for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is now 10:13. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Do me a favor, go out there, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Don't let the change, don't let the change you. There you go. Yeah, y'all gotta understand what he just said. There's a powerful statement right there. Don't let the change change you.
Change you.
There you go. That's a powerful statement. Listen, y'all have a great day. I see you, brother. Y'all have a great day. Love you. And if you get an opportunity to give somebody else some love, you never know. You just might find some love in return. Love you.